If you're in a clutch, you need to experience the servant's touch.
Welcome to the ServantCast, the place where we are offering practical solutions in a complex world. And I'm your host, Bo Buford. Today, we will explore a topic that has empirical evidence of transforming lives, improving climate, and positively impacting the bottom line. The topic? The laws of servant leadership. Now, let's be very clear here. Leadership is not about position. It's about responsibility. Now, after years of serving alongside leaders in high-pressure environments, I've learned this simple truth. The strongest leaders are those who serve with awareness, character, and intentionality. Now, in this ServantCast, I want to introduce you into the 10 laws of servant leadership. This is just an overview. Future ServantCasts will go deeper into each law, including how to apply them in real leadership situations. Now, before we start, let's deal with an important question. What do we mean by a law? What's a law? Now, when we use the word law, in this case, the law of servant leadership, we're not talking about rules you obey or policies you enforce. No, a law is a leadership principle, listen, that produces predictable outcomes when practiced and predictable consequences when ignored. These laws don't control leaders, they reveal them. So, are you ready? Let's go. Law number 1, the law of purpose. The law of purpose says this: knowing why you serve determines how we will lead. Two leaders face the same pressure. One is driven by promotion, but the other by the mission. When conditions worsen, and they will, and recognition disappears, only one remains steady, my friend. Here's my question. What anchors your leadership when recognition is removed? Law number 2, the law of character. The law of character says this: character and intent determine our influence. John Maxwell said it best, that leadership is nothing more, nothing less than influence. So one leader makes the right call when it's costly, when it's inconvenient, and when it's uncomfortable. Months later, the team still trusts them. Why? Because their character compounded over time. Here's my question. Does your behavior reinforce trust when no one else is watching? Law number 3, the law of awareness. The law of awareness says this: self-knowledge governs all other laws. Consider this story. A leader is technically brilliant, but unaware of how their intensity shuts down people. Wow. The problem isn't competence, my friend. It's an unchecked strength, because that's what a blind spot is. Here's my question. Which strength may be quietly becoming our blind spot? Law number 4, the law of consistency. The law of consistency says this: values, standards, and behavior must align. You know, a leader once said, people first, but his actions rewarded shortcuts and tolerated disrespect. The team listened, not to his words, but to their behavior. My friend, whatever we appreciate it will appreciate. Here's my question. Is there a gap between what we say matters and what we reward? Law number 5. The law of listening. The law of listening says this: influence increases when leaders listen before they lead. This is what George Washington did. The solution to a major problem comes oftentimes from the quietest person in that room. Because one leader dared to pause long enough and ask this question, what do you think? It changed the game. I got to ask you this question. Who on your team has an insight but not a voice? And will you be that person's hero or shero and listen to them? Law number 6. The law of love. This is my favorite. The law of love says this: doing the right thing at the right time and with the right motive. This is coined by my mentor, Dr. Bruce Winston, and it is absolutely key. Listen, a leader corrects a mistake privately, protects their dignity publicly, and follows up personally. Accountability is firm, but it's humane. My friend, this is the law of love in action. I gotta ask you, is your leadership firm and humane, or is it merely efficient? Law number 7, the law of responsibility. The law of responsibility says this: servant leaders own the outcome. That's it. You can't pass the buck. We own it. When a plan fails, and sometimes it will, one leader explains why it was not their fault, but the other says, that's on me. What happens? The team rallies behind the second. Here's my question. Where do we need to take more ownership instead of offering explanations? Law number 8, the law of empowerment. The law of empowerment says this: leadership multiplies capability, not dependency. Consider this story. A leader steps back, let others decide, and accepts short-term messiness for long-term growth, and the team becomes stronger. Wow. That is key. Here's my question. Are you developing leaders or creating reliance on you? Because if they're relying on you, they're not growing and you're not winning. Law number 9, the law of stewardship. The law of stewardship says this, my friend: everything entrusted must be protected and improved. Wow. One leader treats people, authority, and resources as borrowed, not owned. The organization improves, not just survives. I gotta ask you the question. Are you leaving what you lead better than you found it? And law number 10, the law of legacy. The law of legacy says this, my friend: true leadership leaves followers stronger than you found them. Listen, there will be a season when leaders depart. The question becomes, did the team collapse or does it thrive? That's not by accident. That's legacy. I gotta ask, who was better prepared to lead because of you? My friend, this is ServantCast introducing the laws. In future episodes, we'll take one law at a time, examining real scenarios, blind spots, leadership failures, practical tools to help you apply each law under pressure. My friend, leadership is not measured by authority, but by strengthening other people. This is the heart of servant leadership. I am Mo Buford, and it's time to experience the servant's touch.